Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Chillwave ASMR Live. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in this wild world. I can hear the world starting to come to life out there. Good morning, good morning. Happy Halloween to you as well. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Gables. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is October 31st. For me, currently, it is 7:08 a.m. Today is Halloween. Awesome. Gables, I'm glad I got that right. Whether you celebrate Halloween or not, or if it's something that's just kind of happening around you, or if it's something that doesn't happen at all where you are, that's okay. Really, I mean, it's all okay. I have a lot of really fond memories of Halloween from when I was a kid. I would always rush home to try to catch the spooky TV shows, stuff like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Freaky Stories, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we would be frantically working to try to get our costumes on for trick-or-treating. They call it trick-or-treating, but really it's mostly treat. One year I don't know if I was a burn victim or a mummy. There was a lot of bandage work. I was a knight one year. I was a Power Ranger. I was a Ninja Turtle. I went as Link from Legend of Zelda one year, and that was probably my first time really spending a lot of time working on a costume. What's going on, Cozy? Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you as well. I hope you're doing well. TGIF, as they say. It is the weekend, almost. So close. I've got my brother visiting this weekend as well, which is pretty fun. So he'll be showing up just as trick-or-treaters start popping in. also got a matching hot dog costume, so I think we're gonna wear matching hot dog outfits. And hopefully that won't be too scary for the kids. And of course we've got a big collaboration Pokemon TCG stream tomorrow as well. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we've got close to 150 packs to open. Cozy, I think that's maybe a blessing and a curse. It's fun to see the kids and like everyone's having so much fun, but at the same time, it kind of like takes over your evening. Oh, cozy, that sounds very cozy, actually. I don't know much about the Halloween event. What's going down for the Halloween event? This is like a little bean-filled dude. I think I got it at like Walmart or something. We'll see if I can get it to make any interesting sounds. We're giving it some kind of skincare treatment. My next big game move is going to be Pokemon ZA. As soon as this spooky season is behind us. Oh my gosh, Cozy, I have to say, it was extremely difficult getting out of bed this morning. I did not sleep well. I couldn't fall asleep, and so I was up very late. And when my alarm went off this morning, I was like, oh my god. But the show must go on. I will say that my dogs did not want to go outside this morning. The little blind bug is literally... She just kind of burrows herself under the blankets and then does not want to see the world until like 8 or 9 a.m. So she was not stoked this morning. But that's okay. What should we do next? I've got a little assortment of a variety of things. Maybe we should do something Halloween themed here. I've got this appendage. Don't worry, it's not real. In case you were worried. It's like rubber or plastic or something. It's from the dollar store. You haven't gotten ZA yet either yet? No, I haven't gotten it yet either. And I totally agree. Everyone's complaining about the doors and the windows and stuff. That's not really why I play the game. find if I get on TikTok or something and start scrolling, it's actually difficult to find a consistent stream of thought that I agree with. There's a lot of chaos and calamity out there in the world. I'm feeling very much like I need a social media break. No TikTok or Instagram or stuff like that. Just because the world is in shambles. We've got a radius and an ulna jutting out here. It's kind of nasty. Yeah, cozy. Since when are we playing Pokemon for the graphics? I know. Yeah, the doom scroll is out of control. I think, there's this, like, it's a dopamine craving thing, right? You're just, like, getting the hit, but it's net bad, for sure. Except I did find this person, I think in Europe somewhere, that does these really cool 3D printed and then painted figurines for different things. And there was a really cool Silent Hill one. I think I'm gonna get it. It's so risky. I don't know this person on the internet. What if they just take my money? You've gotta like trust in this process. But I've never done anything like that before, so maybe I'll roll the dice. Yeah, Cozy, I'm feeling the same thing. The last few months has been like, I don't know. I think I did well over the summer, kind of ignoring the noise. I get into this like dark place, hearing all this like political news. I'm like, oh, jeez. Oh, that's reassuring, Cozy, that your experience is good with artists online. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna trust the process and just hope for the best. What are you gonna do, right? You can only hope for the best. Cozy, I have to ask then, are you dressing up for Halloween? I guess if you're hanging out at home, then you probably don't need to. Unfortunately, Mrs. Chillwave, aka Soft Chaos ASMR, is away for work. So, if it wasn't for my brother visiting, then I would be a solo operation. dressing up as millennial in PJs. That's my go-to costume for everyday life. What's fun also is that at work I wear scrubs, and that feels very much like PJs. Yeah, I'm not really feeling like partying either. My brother and I are going to take it pretty easy. I think we're going to do some prep work for tomorrow's stream and hand out some candy to kids. And I'm making dinner. I'm making barbacoa flautas, which should be delicious, hopefully. And yeah, we're just going to chill. Yeah, scrubs are comfortable for sure. Yeah, a lot of people do the Crocs at work. I don't do Crocs, but I'm usually, depending on how my feet are feeling, I'm usually doing like either like some supportive running shoes or Vans flats, or like if I really want to look cool, then like sneakers, Nike sneakers. But the scrubs are super comfortable. I also sometimes do these like Lululemon pants. They're like the jogger. I don't know what they are, but those are very comfortable as well. You sometimes deal with a lot of like, there's a lot of, without getting too graphic, you want to be able to change your clothes easily if you need to. In my line of work, you're often in the splash radius of a variety of different things. So, oh, that is very nice. No clients means casual. That's very nice. Yeah, the corporate wear. That was one of the things that did me in back doing clinic and stuff like that. I was like, ugh. And then I started wearing scrubs to clinic, and people were like, what are you doing? I just want to wear pajamas all the time. Is that a crime? I ask you this. Even in med school, there was a group of us who, like, on internal medicine, on the inpatient ward, the expectation was that you wear, like, business casual. And a few of us, like, were like, no, scrubs. The funny thing about my line of work, and Cozy, I don't know if you have any of this kind of stuff in your line of work, but it's a very stitious, it's superstitious actually, place. Like, working on a full moon usually means, sounds like there's a T-Rex outside, usually means you're gonna have a crazy shift. Sometimes in emergency departments there's like regulars, people who come frequently, and if you say their name, usually they'll show up. But I don't know if that's some selection bias because they were probably always going to show up anyways. Also, if you're in an ER and you say the word quiet, like, oh, it's really quiet today, done. The worst thing ever. That usually heralds something really bad coming in. A little stitious. Good. That's a safer place to be, I think. Just a little stitious. I found this little guy at the dollar store. Amazing find. I love the sounds it makes. Right. Yeah, I think that's got to be universal. If you call it into existence, if you shed light on it, whatever cosmic force it exerts its influence. I'm convinced that there's a couple pairs of socks that I have, and if I wear those socks, I'm gonna have a really bad day. So I'll avoid them. I'll make sure that I don't have them anywhere near me when I'm going to work. That's true, Cozy. Zip your lip. That's the way. Sometimes, if you're having a good shift and you see a patient quickly, they'll be like, "Oh, thanks for the fast service," because as you know, emergency rooms are notoriously bad for wait times. And then they'll leave, and they'll say on their way out, "Hope you have a quiet night." And everyone just looks at each other like, "Oh my god!" They lob a grenade into the department and then leave. They mean well. They don't know. Hoping the sound is coming through nicely. You never know. I'll turn it up a little bit, just a smidge. Yeah, they do curse the department. They're like, "Yo, thanks for the fast service. Hope it goes into calamity as soon as I leave." They don't know. They mean well. I've kind of developed this learned helplessness, although my wife says it's not really learned helplessness. She's probably right, but there's nothing I can do about any of it. I have to accept whatever happens. So maybe it's radical acceptance. That's what she says anyways. So I just, I accept it. They've also studied use of the word quiet in the emergency department, and it was shown to have no effect. So there you go, science has spoken. control what you can control. That's kind of become a bit of a mantra for me. That's definitely a thing. I mean, I think that's true in medicine as well. But at some point, we have to acknowledge our powerlessness to all these processes that are happening. And one thing I always just try to tell myself is you just have to do your best. Just do your best. And I think that's true for everything, really. And you're right, no drama on a Friday morning. Very, very, very true. We're not going there. Jay is the worst. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It is early morning. It is 7:35 a.m. where I am. So I guess it's either early or late, depending on where you are. Time zones are such a weird thing. If you think about it, it's like globally we take shifts with sleeping. You know, the people across the world clock in for their day shift stream when it's their night, or their day shift sleep when it's their night. It's a funny thing. Trump is for Mondays only. I'm just picturing that like surprised hamster meme. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's a Monday morning vibe. Friday's nice because it brings, like, you know, for people who don't work on the weekends. I sometimes do, but I don't this weekend. So it brings, like, such a nice transition. The work is done. Now it's time for you to relax. Have some time to yourself. And enjoy yourself. There's a groundhog one. There's also a hamster one. I wish I had it here that I could conjure it up. It's like the hamster is like it looks like it's. There's also a toad from Mario Kart. There's a meme of him like in some motion. Let me see if I can find it. We're gonna go deep on this one. See if I can find the hamster meme. I just googled hamster. Gotta add more information. This is the one. if you can see it. Where the hamster's like, it's like a blurred image of a hamster looking scared. That's Monday vibes. That's not Friday vibes, though. What a silly thing. I don't know if this is a cat toy, but it feels like it could be. Like, I feel like a cat would like this thing because it crinkles. What's going on, Thomas? It is 7:39 a.m. 7:39 in the morning. Jay's Doors, never seen that one. Yeah, I think about it sometimes. Sometimes I feel like that hamster. Your cat Molly. Molly's a great name for a cat. That's a great name. Molly the cat. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It came with this, like, these two things came in the same package. So I don't know. This is a little cat thing, so I guess it does make sense. Yes, it is super early, definitely. I didn't sleep well, so I was struggling to wake up this morning. 12:39 midday. Wow, Norway, very cool. I've always wanted to go to Norway. Always wanted to go to Norway. Yep, I am Canadian. I'm in, like, central to eastern Canada. I'm glad you like those crinkles. It's only 5:40 where you're at, Jay. That is very early. Although I don't know if you're Jay. Jay is the worst. I don't want to say you're the worst. 5:40 is very early. Oops. The only Scandinavian place that I've been to is Iceland. Also very beautiful. I've always wanted to go to Norway. What's going on, Em? I'm doing very well. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I've got a very fun weekend with my brother visiting. Getting ready to open some Pokemon cards on stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm very excited for that. It's also Halloween today, so getting ready to hand out candy to all the trick-or-treaters in my neighborhood. I always wanted to visit Quebec, but it's getting worse. Uglier so to speak. No, I don't think it's getting worse. It's a beautiful place. Quebec is so nice. I used to live in Montreal, and that's a very beautiful, fun city. I've done a lot of skiing in the Laurentians, like Mont Tremblant area. That's also very beautiful. Quebec City is really nice. I've always wanted to go to Gaspésie. Quebec has like the St. Lawrence River, which is really nice as well. Quebec is very beautiful. Highly recommend a visit to Quebec. Oh, you're a J. Okay. That's very fun. Iceland is very nice. They're like a mini Norway with volcanoes. That's awesome. I had this like really funny experience. My friend and I we went to Iceland and we were sleeping in the back of this hatchback and we were driving the whole perimeter of the island. And I have this like secret mission, this like hidden life goal. It's not serious, I don't think about it ever, but to skinny dip. Which if you don't know what that is, it's like you take off all your clothes, you're completely nude in your birthday suit, as they say. And you swim in all of the oceans. So the only ocean I'm missing is the Southern Ocean. And there was this really beautiful hot spring right on the edge of the ocean, on the northernmost part of Iceland. And so I was thinking, and my friend was thinking, we can get in the ocean and then immediately warm up in the hot spring. But the problem is the water, the differential on the temperature is so crazy. Like, the ocean water was so cold and the hot spring was so hot that you couldn't go from one to the other right away. It like hurt way too much. So we were just standing there completely nude, and there's all these people like campers and stuff like that, other people camping. It wasn't like we were putting on a show for the locals. It was at like a campsite or something. And it didn't go as I anticipated, but it was fun. I'm glad it happened. Now you've got a story, right? If you want a good story, sometimes you've got to pay for it with a wild experience. Yes, it is Halloween. Oh yeah, Cozy's chiming in. Definitely, Quebec is so beautiful. It's such a great spot. Oh, and your brother's also visiting. That's awesome. No way, heading to a Pokemon shop. I am sending you some epic first pack magic. I feel like you're gonna pull something really crazy. I have a feeling. I love this old like antique or like vintage pipe tobacco tin that I got at like some flea market or something. It's been raining a lot where I am, and so listening to the sound of rain on a tin roof is such a nice thing. Yeah, Quebec is top notch. Yeah, especially this time of year. There's so much like beautiful, massive forests in Quebec, and with the leaves changing, it's good vibes. Yeah, the cold to hot water scenarios are not good. Definitely. Yeah, it's like painful. You want to kind of reacclimatize slowly, I guess. But I mean, it was a good time. Yeah, that's great. That's great, Thomas. Yeah, there's so many, like, it's fun to have all these, like, side mission goals, right? Little things that you can do, little side quests. Southern Ocean now. Antarctica's not easy or inexpensive to get to. But I hope I just happen to find my way there one day. Maybe I can be like an expedition doctor or something. That'd be kind of fun. If I had 2 weeks, where would I prioritize to visit in Canada? Oh, yo. That's a great question. Oh, that's so tough. The problem is, here's some things to say about that. Canada is so massive that with 2 weeks, you know, it's really tough. Because the East Coast is so nice, and Quebec is so nice, and there's some really nice stuff in Ontario too. Lots of rocks and forest. That, you know, and of course, like, you know, the West Coast is also so nice, like British Columbia. Like, you've got to see the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. Canada's so massive. So the thing is, like, it depends. It depends if you're one of those people who likes to squeeze in a lot in a short amount of time, or if you're one of those people who likes to go to one place and really sink your teeth into it. Canada is just so massive. So, like, Newfoundland, you know, my dad lives in Nova Scotia, and there's so much cool stuff to see there. So it's really hard to say. I would say if you want to see a lot of stuff in Canada, then probably you should plan to spend a few days on the East Coast, spend a few days in central Canada, like Quebec and Ontario, and then you should fly on over to like Calgary and go to like Canmore and Banff and like Lake Louise and like the beautiful glacier lakes in the Rocky Mountains, and then make your way over into British Columbia. Like the Okanagan is really nice. Kelowna, that whole area, interior BC. Vancouver is a really great city. My favorite Canadian city is Montreal. There's no question. It's such a great spot. So I would definitely, like, Toronto's a fun city for sure, but I would suggest prioritizing Montreal over Toronto. That's just my bias. Like, if Toronto is like a city version of a shopping mall, then Montreal is like the city version of a museum or something. It just got way more culture. If you like indie music or arts, Montreal is top notch. It's got the best food in the country as well. And there's lots to do. I gotta get caught up here. Last time you were in Iceland at a bar, and suddenly some Icelanders heard our language, which is close to Icelandic. Oh, that's wild. I didn't know that their languages were very similar, but I guess it makes sense. They compete in the who's strongest between Norway and Iceland. Oh my god, that's wild. A little rivalry, huh? A little Viking rivalry. No big deal. Arm wrestling contest. Yo, that's fun though. That's a fun thing. I like that. Yeah, fun to see a bunch of Vikings competing in a bar. That's nice. Yeah, Montreal is such a great city. And you can do a lot from Montreal as a base. You could start in Montreal. The thing is, like, you've got mountains and glaciers, I'm sure. So that part is probably not necessarily new for you. Plus, I mean, if you want to try the Canadian specialty of poutine, Montreal's gotta be the place to go for that. Great food there. Great food. Whoa. Your brother drove from Alaska to Washington and went through Canada. Pictures are beautiful. Yeah, I mean, the West Coast is very beautiful. The mountains and the ocean. It's crazy. I've always wanted to go to Alaska too. How do we feel about this wet sound? This is the remnant of a prop from a Pokemon veterinarian video. This is Gengar's ectoplasm. No big deal. I've always wanted to do that drive too. I love road trips. The Pan American Highway has been big on my list, but it's such a massive undertaking to drive from Alaska to Argentina. I got you, Thomas. They fled. So Iceland is basically Norway. They were Norwegians, but they fled from Christian King in the Viking days. That's very cool. That's good to know. I don't know a ton about the history. Thomas, can I ask you something? And feel free to just say you don't want to talk about it. That's okay. Totally reasonable. And I won't ask again. And I'm only asking because I'm interested in supernatural stuff. Hear me out. When we were in Iceland, we were told we weren't allowed to talk about trolls or fairies. But we saw a lot of little fairy houses and stuff. And I don't know if it's a real superstition or if it's a real thing that people in Iceland believe in. I don't know if you know this, but I thought I'd ask. Why not ask, right? And you just ignore that if it's not okay to talk about. They told me not to talk about it, and here I am. I've got some Norwegian ancestry on my dad's side, which is interesting. So I need to go back to the motherland. Oh, that's good to know. I'm glad I asked the right person, that's good. I listened to a podcast about it, and they were saying that it's like a real belief thing. But I'm just curious, right? So my question is then, do Icelandic people really believe in fairies? I'm just so curious. Is it like the Wendigo in Native American folklore, where they can't talk about it, or they will be cursed? I think it is. Like, I don't know. Listen, I don't know about it, but my understanding is that it's like they have the ability to curse you, and so you have to, like, maybe pay your respects, make sure they're well cared for outside the home. I think it's one of those things where you don't talk about it. That is so cool, Thomas. Fairies live underground, kind of like hobbits, just smaller, and Icelandic people build them houses. Whoops. Yeah, so, I mean, my understanding was, maybe I'm not supposed to be talking about this, I don't know. That's just, it's one of those things. What do I do for work? I am a doctor. Try to grab this next item without causing too much of a calamity. Quebecers think the Anglophones are a curse on them, so I'd rather have the fairies. Yo, that's true. That's a real thing. When I lived in Montreal, I lived in like a pretty English neighborhood. And whenever I would try to speak French, people would be like annoyed and switch to English. And I was actually refused service at a gas station one time outside of Montreal because I couldn't speak French well enough. I think it varies, though. I don't think all people in Quebec feel strongly about that, but some apparently do. Mixed with two folklores. The spirits of the dead and fairies are connected, and the magic doesn't work if you speak it. Disrespect it 100%. Gotcha. That's good to know. So maybe that's why we were told not to talk about it. I just have so many curiosities. It's respectful. It's a respectful curiosity. So, I just like to know about different people and places. VR Station. Happy Halloween to you as well. I'm glad you're back too. The world gets busy. People come and go. I'm glad you're here. Oklahoma. I've never been to Oklahoma, but I've heard good things. Jay's the worst. Maybe in Oklahoma you've got Bigfoot, probably, right? You've probably got, what's another one? That wolf, the wolf man thing, the wolf that walks on its hind legs. You've probably got one of those. I think you've got some cool stuff. I don't know. So around 40% of Iceland believes in them, but closer to 80 to 90% shows respect and feel pride about it. Very cool. I should do an interesting facts episode about curses, because I was listening to this podcast yesterday and they were talking about historic forest where there's all this fossilized wood that's become basically a rock. And people were stealing from this national park, taking some of these things home. And then it got out that if you take the wood, then you're cursed. And then people were assigning all their misfortunes and bad luck to having stolen this thing. So then they mail it back to the park with an apology letter. It's like a whole thing. We probably do have some cool stuff where the Native Americans are at. Yeah, almost certainly. A lot of very interesting, very cool Native American traditions and beliefs. Trolls are not really an Icelandic thing. Back in the days, we believed the mountains were gigantic dead trolls. That smaller trolls wander around in the deep mountains and deep forests. Very cool. I love that. Thomas, thank you for explaining all that and talking about it. It's very interesting. Wandered a few hours outside the public patch into deep mountains, and I remember my father said we should turn around. It's a private place for trolls. Oh. That feels real. That feels very real. I mean, I think what we don't understand, we should at least respect. And that's so interesting. This is a little syringe, a little needle tip from a syringe. I like the little crinkling on the packaging. Jay's the worst. Yes. I think Canada and the US are very similar in a lot of ways when it comes to those types of traditions. We differ in some ways, obviously, but definitely I think our Halloween is pretty same, pretty similar. I've always wanted to go to Salem, Massachusetts, around Halloween. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I'd like to do that and learn about like the witch trials and experience the fall spooky vibes there. Something about it feels very cozy and cool and historical. Very cool. Yeah, mad respect to Iceland. And, yeah, I think it helps me to have a little bit more understanding about what it is and that it's like a real thing. Thomas. I appreciate it. No, the witch trial is not cozy. That's terrible. But that's the interesting side of it, because there's a lot of tragic and terrible history that took place there. But modern Salem, as I understand it, has become kind of like a spooky, cozy kind of vibe, right? It's a lot of like museums, and they've really leaned into the Halloween aspect of things, as I understand it, just because that's where like the birthplace of like witches in America kind of thing. And so no, I don't think it's, the history is not cozy, certainly, but definitely interesting. Jay's the worst. Oh no. Imagine pulling up to Salem, Virginia, and be like, "You guys got any witches?" They're like, "No, wrong Salem, my dude. Wrong Salem. Darn." This little object is a package of gauze, 4-inch by 4-inch sheets of gauze, little sponges. Handy to have around if you're doing any kind of procedure in the emergency department. Also, I love the tappy sounds. Oh no, Thomas, I feel your pain, my friend. The Phantasmal Flames pre-orders, they immediately sell out here as well. If I wanted to pre-order Phantasmal Flames today, I would not be able to. It's brutal. I did manage to pre-order some. Thankfully, my brother, I always say this, but you know what? You gotta give credit where it's due. And my brother, he is like, he's got his finger on the pulse for Pokemon Center. He knows when they're going to be doing a pre-order. And I guess he's got some Twitter feed that he follows. And so he messaged me, and he was like, "Get in there." So then you get into the online waiting room and do your thing, and then, yeah, I did manage to secure some, so that's good. It's really tough, though, if you don't get lucky right out of the gate. Like, even local stores, they don't really announce when their pre-orders are going up. It just kind of happens, and then it sells out right away. It's a tough thing. Jeez, the word says, I want to go to one of those towns with a ton of trees by the houses and see all the different colors. Trees in the fall. No trees in Oklahoma. I didn't know that. I guess as Oklahoma in the prairies. I feel like it is. Yeah. I mean, Canada has a lot of trees. And this time of year in Ontario, it's so beautiful. It's very nice. Reds and yellows. Oranges. I'm from pretty far up north, and it's like untouched forests. It's so beautiful. I haven't looked too much at list yet either, Thomas, but I know that there is a crazy Charizard. And I'm a simple guy. I love a Charizard chase. I love a good Charizard chase, and we haven't had one in a while. I think the last Charizard chase card was in Paldean Fates. I did manage to pull one of those. My brother somehow pulled like 3 of them. I remember I was passing through the town that he's in, and I stopped in with a booster bundle of Paldean Fates, and we each opened 3 packs, and I watched him pull a Charizard from one of those packs. Trees, just not the ones that change color. It's the Great Plains. That ain't very many. Yeah. It's pretty cool though. What are you? You must be in the like tornado zone. Oklahoma. It feels very tornado-y. Wizard of Ozian. That's what it feels like. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. I need a little boost. Love that. Love coffee. It's the best. What are we gonna do next? Got a couple new triggers I want to try out here at some point. Let's do the skull. It's weird. I got this at this store called Spirit Halloween. Oh, Thomas, what am I doing with the bulk? Bulk management is a huge problem. I've recently started selling duplicates. I've been opening packs, lots of packs, over the last couple of years, and I'd never sold. I'd given away some duplicates to like my brother and stuff, but I'd never sold duplicates. And so recently I've started locally selling some cards. And I've also been like, once I sort and get the cards that I need, trying to bundle together and sell bulk. I guess people like to buy it because they're trying to complete their master set, and so they're looking for certain reverse hollows and stuff like that. So you can buy bulk. And I think people like to buy bulk for their like young kids who are into Pokemon. Because I think little kids, when they grab a Pokemon card, they grab it with their whole hand. They so I think people like to give the kids, they don't like to give the kids the illustration rares because they really grab onto it. They don't have the fine motor skills just yet, so they squeeze on those cards. So that's what I've been doing. I've been bundling up and selling bulk locally. Oh my god, 100 kilograms of bulk. That is an insane amount of bulk. Yeah, so I mean, I would put like a bunch of bulk into an ETB or one of those like big cardboard boxes and sell it as like a little bundle. I don't master all the sets, no. I try to sometimes, but not all of them, not all the sets. Sometimes I just can't open enough to do that, and I don't have the budget. It'd be very expensive to master every set. I'm just not opening that much. this is spooky with the fake cobwebs. Very spooky. No, and so if there's a set that I really like, I'll try to master it. But I can't master all of them. $151 I did manage to master, and I'm very stoked about that. Trying your best to get a Charizard Unlimited base. Ooh, PSA 8 for ages. Nobody has one for sale in Norway. Oh my gosh. That's a good one for the collection. I've got one, apparently unweighed, base set Unlimited pack, and I'm so tempted to open it. Everyone says just hold it, but it's hard. It's hard to know what to do. Yo, Shanamoose, what is going on? Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. I'm glad you caught the stream as well. 4 storage boxes, each weighing 25 kilograms. Ooh, that is so nuts. Yo, ASMR Nerd Heart, what is going on, dude? Happy spooky season. I know you're a fellow spooky guy. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Maybe I should weigh it. And yeah, maybe I should not open it. That's the advice I've been given. I appreciate that, you guys. I will not open it, but maybe I'll weigh it. Did I ever get the 151 Japanese Charizard I was hunting for? No. I still have not pulled it. But I had to take a break from buying booster boxes of Japanese 151. Because it was getting out of hand. So I might try to just buy the card. I know. But in this world, in this economy, that's what you gotta do. Massively into Chinese 151 at the moment. Yeah, that's very cool. I've opened a couple boxes of that. I love the Pikachu. Cozy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. The likes do help. I think it tells YouTube that our stream matters. The algorithm be doing its thing. That's right. Yeah, the English Charizard. For sure. Cozy, thank you so much for being here. Happy Halloween. Have an amazing weekend. I hope you have a super fun Animal Crossing evening. And thank you so much for your company today. I appreciate it. Hope you have a very uneventful and good day. Shanamoose, you are a legend. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Janamoose. Thank you. All of your support. When it gets tough out there, and the algorithm be doing its thing, I always think about you guys, the people who keep coming back and hanging out, and that's what keeps me in the game, hanging out with you lovely people. So thank you so much, Shanamoose. I appreciate you. I love this little sauce cup. This sauce cup makes the best sounds. Thomas, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I will. That'd be awesome. Thanks for all the info and the teachings today. I appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome, awesome day, an awesome weekend. Oh, Shanamoose, thank you so much for asking about the dogs. Well, Jelly Bean, one of the pugs, has developed some kind of like neurologic condition, I think, where she's like, her back legs are not working as well. So we're a little worried about that. Some component of that is, I think, arthritis and hip dysplasia and old age, but she's showing some neurologic degeneration in her back legs. So we're working through that and trying to get her good care and take care of her. We just want her to be comfortable and not have any pain or suffering. That's the key. So thank you for asking. Their spirits are good though. I will say, I had to get up really early for today's stream, and so I took them out for a walk, and they did not want to wake up. So they were pretty grouchy, and they're back to bed now. I appreciate that so much. I know, Jay, you're right about that. I have to say, when we got our pugs ages ago, we didn't know about all that. But yeah, pugs are very prone to a lot of health problems. And so ours have had quite a lot of health problems, unfortunately. One of them went blind, and they've had like cancerous skin tumors removed, and now the one is dealing with this hip and back problem. So oh, and eye ulcer. Yeah, pugs are really prone to that too. My pugs have had like corneal abrasions and things like that, and that's unfortunately really common because their eyes kind of bulge out, so they can whack their eyeball against stuff. That's a really tough thing. Well, I'm sending your pug a lot of love, Shanamoose. Pugs are the best. They're so sweet and so nice, and they're so loving, and they just want to be with you at all times. It's actually the sweetest thing. Alright guys, I have this box of these like packing things. Oh. Sending your bug some huge, huge love, Shanamoose. Oh, that's so nice. Currently snoring against your legs right now. That's what they love. My bugs. One of them wants to squish between me and the armrest of the couch, and the other one wants to go like right between my legs. And so they just kind of form a pile. Oh, Jay, I'm so sorry to hear that. Great Dane is a big, mighty dog. A powerful dog. I'm so sorry to hear that. His heart got too big. Dogs do have big hearts. I mean it more figuratively. But, gosh, 13 years old. Yeah, my pug is 13 years old. Squishy heat packs. Yeah, dogs are like a furnace. They generate so much heat, it's crazy. Yeah, sending big love. Big love to Jay. I can't even imagine what that's like. What a terrible thing. Jim again, what's going on, dude? Welcome, welcome. Shanamoose, the hair is crazy. The amount of shedding that those dogs do is insane. There is so much bug hair everywhere. I have to keep, like my black clothes, like this sweater, I have to keep it completely separate from where the dogs live, and I can't, like, hang out with them with this on. It'd be crazy. Oh, Jay, that's nice. Cats. That's very cool, Shanamoose. At least, other than a good shampooing every once in a while, at least pugs don't need to have their hair cut. The hair is crazy. I wonder how much hair I've accidentally ingested or inhaled over the last decade. It's everywhere all the time. Absolutely. Yeah, pugs have got to be, like, in the top 5 dogs that shed. They've got to be. It's amazing how they can generate so much. It's probably best not to think about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the hair on the shirts is crazy, and the hair at the ankles. When the cats, like, come up to you and then, like, press their bodies against you and, like, rub themselves against you. Yeah, I can picture the hair on the ankles for sure. guess, do the long-haired cats shed more than the short-haired cats, or is it the same? A tornado. I didn't even realize that. God, that's gotta be pretty fun. Just pampering dogs. A nice shampooing, a nice wash, a nice brush out. Oh, wow. That's so interesting. I wonder why that is. Their coat is just constantly turning over. Yo, I'm gonna do this thing again. I like this one. I don't know if you guys are around tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My brother and I, Benji, from what we're doing with Benji and Cord, we're going to be doing a Pokemon opening. It's going to be very fun. Live at 1 p.m. You pet or brush those cats and hair is coming off in masses. Oh my god. It's crazy. They must just constantly be growing more hair, constantly turning over the coat. The world is really becoming quite active out there. Yeah, the brushing must feel so good. Especially if there's those, like, wire brushes. Those seem like they would feel really good. I guess that's what you have to use on a cat. It's one of those, like, dense wire brushes. I used to work at a pet store back in the day. Actually, I worked in a pet store for like 5 years, like through high school and stuff. And so I'm familiar with like the variety of products for cats. Although I'm sure a lot's changed since then. Oh, Jay, that can't be a coincidence. The long-haired cat, I wonder if it just like pulls the hair more while they're being brushed. A slicker brush, that's the one. Classic. The one who needs it most. Cats always strike me as like, I mean, they've really got a mind of their own, right? I feel like they're less cooperative than dogs. That's hard to say. My only real experience with dogs, or pets really, as an adult, has been these two pugs. I would imagine personality-wise, pugs and cats are very different. Speaking of cats, I'm gonna do this. I think this is a cat toy. I could be wrong, but it seems like a cat toy. Cozy had thought that it was probably a cat toy. Starvin' Marvin. Yo, ferrets are so cool. Ferrets are so fun. They are so smart. Ferrets were like the best part of the pet store days because we would often have a couple ferrets hanging around, and they're so fun to hang out with. And actually, like ferrets, they have like an odor, like a smell to them. Not a bad smell, but it's like nostalgic for me because of my pet store days. It actually kind of reminds me of Christmas for some reason. It's amazing how different scents are linked to different experiences. Oh no, he didn't like her. This is what I mean. You know, I'm sure it's true for dogs too, but I feel like cats, there's something like, I don't want to say snobby, but there's something like, they're just really confident. Maybe they're just really confident. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. Marvin didn't like your sister, but he likes you. See, that's so cool. They're so smart. Like, litter trained. That's amazing. And they're like having a kid all year round. That's what I kind of felt too. Yeah, the D-sex, that's, I remember that being the thing. But it's like, it's not like a big smell. It's like it's just like a very faint thing. And I was the guy cleaning the cages. He ended up where he was meant to be. That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to wrap things up. This has been an immense amount of fun. I've got a very busy day today, getting some stuff together. I've got to run some errands, and I'm making a fun meal for my brother who's coming into town tonight. And of course, it's Halloween, so there are going to be all kinds of neighborhood kids coming through trick-or-treating this evening, so I've got to get all set up for that too. So that's going to be an epic day. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be going live here on the channel, tearing some Pokemon packs. I think we've got like 150 packs that we're going to have to get through. and I just know we're going to be pulling something crazy. I feel very good about it. So, I hope you can join for that. That'd be really fun. They call him a racist cat because he's stuck up all over me and my mom and hate my sister and brother. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Sometimes cats have opinions that we can't really do much about. It is 8:46 a.m., so the day is just getting started here in Canada. So I hope you have an amazing day too, Shanamoose. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your ongoing support. Jay is the worst. I appreciate you as well too. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I'm going to try to do more of these Hangout ASMR trigger sessions. So if you have any feedback for me, don't hesitate to let me know. I definitely want to improve and do better and hopefully bring some very relaxing vibes for you. So don't hesitate to reach out with any feedback that you have. It's been awesome. Well into the future. Yeah, or the past. I don't know if I'm in the future or the past. Well, I hope you get a good sleep. Only the best vibes, the best dreams, and lots of love to all of your pets as well as Jay's cats. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.